What is mindset and why is it important for us as coaches? Mindset is key. In fact, you'll have heard me say before that mindset is everything. And the reason I say this is because mindset isn't just about positive thinking or saying affirmations. Mindset is so much more than that. Mindset comprises our thoughts, our behaviours, our beliefs, our values, our habits, our strategies, our emotions, our identity, our history, our experiences. It's this multidimensional element of who we are, right? It is so important as coaches that we understand what is going on for our clients in all of these areas so that we can really create lasting change and help them to achieve the results that they desire. And we want to be able to do this, of course, on the conscious level and the unconscious level as well. They say that we have 64,000 thoughts in a day, and we really do get to choose the thoughts that we have in response to the events and situations that we find ourselves in life. And working with your clients to understand how they think about the situations, relationships, circumstances they find themselves in is one of the key ways that we can start to identify how we can help them to create change in their lives or in their businesses. Now, of course, thoughts are shared with us or communicated via language. And so when we understand how someone prefers to experience the world through the language that they're using, and people will use different types of language based on how they experience the world. Some people will speak with more visual language, auditory language, and kinesthetic language, for example. And that really helps us to be able to get a view of, tune into, and get a handle on how they're experiencing the world so that we can best help them to perhaps see things in a different light, tune into different experiences, or get a grasp on things in a different way. Now, when a client conveys their thoughts to us through language, they also do something else that's very, very important. They delete, distort, and generalize information. And we all need to do that to make sense of the world. We've got so much information coming at us 24/7, over 2 million bits a second. We can't pay attention to everything all at once. So what we have to do is to delete some information, distort some information, and generalize information so that it fits within our model of the world, so that we can make sense of it. And so as coaches, what we want to be able to do, of course, is to understand how what the client is telling us is what's the reality of that? What are they actually describing to us? What's missing? We need to be able to read between the lines as they share their thoughts with us through the language that they're choosing to use so that we can then help them to perhaps reframe an experience, see something in a different light. And we can ask some great questions then to really uncover the hidden meaning behind what it is that they're saying, more importantly, so that we know what their model of the world is. How are they interpreting the events that happen? How are they understanding their world at the moment? And it enables us then to really help them to change their view of things so that they can have perhaps a better response, a more productive response, a more resourceful response to what is going on in their lives, in their businesses, so that they can be the most effective that they can be. Now, thoughts precede emotion. Now, emotions, of course, are huge drivers when it comes to taking action or to residing in inertia. You know, we have clients sometimes who are in overwhelm or procrastination, two stuck states that don't really help them move forward. Similarly, we can have clients who are highly productive, are highly motivated, highly engaged in what it is that they're doing. And really what we want to be able to do with our clients is to help them to manage those states, those unresourceful emotions that don't really help them in their journey to achieving their goals, and help them to bring in and experience more of those positive, productive emotions, those motivating, inspiring emotions a lot more frequently. And that's whether it comes to achieving a goal in life or business or building a relationship or it does not matter. We want to be able to give our clients the emotional awareness, the emotional flexibility to be able to drive the action that they need to take. Now, behavior, of course, is the result of thought. Then we experience an emotion, and then we behave in some way. We act or react or interact. And the thing is with behavior that it is such an important piece of information for us as coaches about our clients. We can help our clients to look for patterns in past behavior, to start to understand why they keep dating that same person who's really unsuitable for them. It's a different person every time, but it's the same pattern. Or why they keep working for that same controlling boss. Why they choose to scroll through Netflix rather than getting on and going for a run, or getting on social media, doing a live on social media. Why are they engaging in the behaviours that they're engaging in, whether they are helping them or hindering them to achieve their goals? And we really want to understand behaviour and behavioural preferences in order to help our clients as well understand how behavioural flexibility can help them when it comes to achieving their goals. One of the things I love teaching and I love using is behavioural preferences and psychometric profiling. And we do it conversationally at the Mindset Coach Academy. So what we want to know from our clients is where they sit on the preference scale. For example, I guess the most common one is of introversion to extroversion, or whether they're work more towards a goal and what they do want, or away from what they don't want. And when we understand, and all of these are based, of course, on Jungian psychology, the majority of personality profiling tools out there, whether it's a DISC profile, a Hogan, or a Myers-Briggs, they're all based in some way on Jungian psychology. And in that, what we look at, of course, is that behavioural continuum, and that, the contexts in which people behave and behave differently depending on how they're feeling. We all know, for example, we have shadow behaviours where if we're feeling stressed or under pressure or unwell, we're going to behave differently than if we're feeling, I guess, as our normal selves, as our normal productive selves. And so we really want to understand from our clients how their behaviour and how they prefer to behave aligns with the goals that they want to achieve, and whether or not we need to help them to be a bit more flexible in that. The other thing, of course, that we want to do as coaches is to be able to task our clients in a way that resonates naturally with them and with their natural behavioural preferences. If you've got a client, for example, who is highly introverted and they want to become more visible online, saying to them, this week I want you to go live on Facebook 5 days in a row, is going to bring up resistance for them because it does not fit naturally within their behavioural preferences. And so, of course, when you know where someone sits across all the different continuums, then you can task really effectively so that they are more likely to actually do the task and make the progress forwards that you and they want to make. So in that instance, you may, for example, task that client who has a preference for more introverted behavior. You may task them with recording one video on Zoom and getting really happy and comfortable with it, and then posting it out on social media in that exact same time frame. We really do love understanding and getting into the depth of people's behaviour and understanding why they do what they do. And it's a key factor, along with thoughts and emotions, of mindset. Now, something that's very closely aligned to behaviour, of course, is habits. Habits are the things that we do at the unconscious level without thinking about them, and habits can actually help us again or hinder us in achieving our goals. So the work that we do as mindset coaches, and certainly we're going to be exploring all of these things in a lot more detail in upcoming shows, is to understand the habits that our clients have and the habits that they want to create, and then helping them to actually remove unwanted habits and create ones that really, really help them on their path to success. Something else that's very closely aligned with behavior and habits, of course, is strategies. Now, our strategies are the way in which we do, and the order in which we do things to achieve a result in our lives. Now, we have strategies for everything, for getting up in the morning, for getting dressed in the morning, for brushing our teeth. We have strategies also for motivation, for feeling good, for falling in love, for attracting clients in our business. And when we understand the order and syntax, so the content of someone's strategy that they're currently using, we can help them to change that strategy. We can help them to identify the steps that they're taking at the unconscious level in that strategy that aren't working and replace them with those that work much more effectively to help them achieve the desired outcome. Now, the next one, and it's one we hear a lot about as coaches, is beliefs. Beliefs are an integral part of your mindset and of your thinking, because when we believe something to be true, we look for evidence for it. Our brain is a big pattern matching organism. It goes to work for us, making us right every single day. And we know that what we focus on, for example, from law of attraction principles, what we focus on increases. And that is so true. And it's such a representation, I guess, of that relationship between our thoughts and our beliefs. Now, if we believe something to be true, we are much more likely to go and act. If we think something's possible, we are much more likely to go and act. And there's so many examples of this throughout history. Roger Bannister and the 4-minute mile, he broke it. The next week, we had 3 or 4 people also breaking that 4-minute mile. Why? Because they knew it was possible. We're going to be diving deep in this program into beliefs and how to help people uncover their limiting beliefs, the beliefs that hinder them or hold them back, and help them to install beliefs that really help them and enable them to move forward and achieve the goals that they desire. Because it is so much a part of, being able to achieve what we want to achieve in life when we have the way that we think about it and the way that we feel about it. And it's all this interrelationship between all of these things that help us to get to where we want to be. And that by knowing these things with our clients, help us to help them to get to where they want to be too. Now, the next thing is values. Now, values are really important for us as coaches and also a part of our mindset. Values are actually what motivate us, what drive us. They're often described as the why for our clients. And understanding our clients' values, what's important to them, and where perhaps those values are out of alignment in terms of the ecology of the goal that they want to achieve is so key for us, because we can then help our clients using a range of conscious and unconscious change techniques to identify and then change their values and really explore their values so that they're much more likely to achieve the goal. It's in alignment, it's congruent with who they are, it's in integrity, and everything just happens for them so much more easily when the values and the goal are aligned together. And again, we explore that. We're going to be exploring that in this program. The next one that's important for us is our history and our experiences. And, as mindset coaches, we really want to understand how our clients got to where they are now. How have they continued to maintain the problem or not solve the problem that they come to us with? And we also want to understand those patterns that are running through their history that we can help them to shine a light on, right? And to have those penny dropping moments of, oh my gosh, yes, I do keep dating the same guy, or I keep putting myself in these same situations. And when we have that level of recognition from our clients, then we can really help them to move forward and change. And the interesting thing about our clients' history as well is that it really is important for us to help them unhook from the past, right? Because the past behavior predicts future behavior. So that gives us lots of information. But also, the past does not equal the future unless our clients live there. Now, you'll often hear from your clients through their language, and you'll notice in their behavior and their beliefs that they are living in the past. They're not talking about the future, about what's going to happen, what's ahead for them. They keep pinging back emotionally. They keep pinging back by the stories they keep telling into the past. And we as mindset coaches want to use that conscious and unconscious combination of tools to unhook our clients from the past so that they can move forward. We want to help them to stop telling those old stories, to stop thinking those old thoughts, to stop having those old patterns of behavior and belief that ping them back there into the past, and to actually design and create a future that they desire and take those actions that they need to take, behave in a way that they need to behave to make that a reality. And another important thing then is around our client's identity. Now, identity, of course, is about who we are and who we see ourselves to be. And when we work with the client's identity, we are sometimes working with what we call the future you. You know, who are you in the future? Who is the person that has this goal? And I know many of you will be using these techniques already in your coaching practice. This is a very powerful one, you know, to actually get your client to step into the identity of the person who has already achieved the goal or the goals that they want to achieve. Looking at what's their environment like? What do they believe is this person? What are their values? What are their skills and capabilities? How do they behave? What habits do they have? And this is really, really powerful work, because identity is going to drive that action. It's going to drive the way the client views themselves, the way they feel about themselves. It's going to drive how they show up in the world and how they embrace the goal, how they embrace the action taking that they need to take to make their goals and dreams a reality. So as mindset coaches, essentially what we're doing is we are exploring with our clients, you know, their thoughts, their emotions, their beliefs, their behaviors, their habits, their strategies, their history, their values, their identity. And we're really looking at that in the round. It's this holistic view, this holistic whole person view of a client that enables us to then work with them to help them to achieve the goals that they desire, and to do so in a way that works in cooperation with their conscious and unconscious mind, because mind and body are one, and in a way that works with their energy, their emotions, and in a way that makes the achievement of goals for them so much more easy and effortless.